Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Dylan here. We have a major bombshell today about Kevin McCarthy that you do not want to miss. He is getting extremely involved now in politics again after, he stepped down as Speaker of the House. And we have a lot to cover. All right, before we dive in, I ask you to hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave your comments down below. Okay, so our first update is that Kevin McCarthy came out and spoke about how Harris would not win the California governor race. Kamala Harris has vowed to run as governor in California despite losing in a massive landslide for the presidential race, not only in 2020, but also in 2024. Former Speaker Kevin McCarthy said Vice President Harris would not win California's gubernatorial race if she entered it to replace Gavin Newsom in 2026. McCarthy said on Monday, America's Newsroom, where he weighed in on Harris's political future, saying the Democratic Party is trying to find a new direction. So let's tune in to hear his thoughts on Kamala Harris.
Welcome back, America. We have our friend Kevin McCarthy with us. Kevin McCarthy, you were not only the Speaker, but you were resident of California. You're still a resident of California. You know Donald Trump very, very well. You know all about Kamala Harris. People are looking, people are wondering. You see a big difference between these two?
It could not be a greater contrast. You have to see what Kamala has left in her wake. Remember, she comes from California, but she just doesn't come from California. She comes from the most liberal point in the entire nation, San Francisco. And it's not just letting the borders wide open. San Francisco allows illegal citizens to vote in their school board. As Attorney General, it is her responsibility to write the language for propositions to go forward, to give to the voters, what does this initiative actually do? She was the one that crafts the language that now allows people in California to steal up to a little less than $1,000 with no prosecution, that has destroyed this state. If you look at the city of the wake she left in
That actually is crazy, allowing people to steal money like that. I mean, come on.
San Francisco, stores are collapsing, rent is going down, buildings are being given back. It's riddled with crime everywhere because she was the prosecutor, but she was the Soros prosecutor. And you've watched time and again her lack of ability. As a VP, what has she done? She's had the responsibility of the border, but she implied it exactly of what she has done in California. Contrast that with President Trump. He'll secure the border, economically strong, believes in law and order, believes in safe streets, and more importantly, he cares about your children. She does not allow any school choice. It doesn't matter how bad, it doesn't matter it comes from the most ethnic background of any school district, she will not let you get out of a bad school.
You know, Mr. Speaker, I look at Kamala Harris and I think to myself, this is the most radical person I have ever seen as vice president and who wants to be president. The media are Praetorian Guard trying to protect her the way they tried to protect Biden from her own record. But we have video. They're telling us, like with Biden, don't believe your eyes. We have audio. They're telling us, like Biden, don't believe what you hear. You live and lived in California under her as Attorney General. You saw her in the Senate when you were in the House. She's every damn bit as crazy radical as we think and see and hear, isn't she?
She would be a horrible governor of California, even worse than Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is actually intelligent. He's just not, I don't want to call him evil, but he's just not good. Kamala Harris, she's stupid and not good. So maybe you could argue that Kamala Harris isn't as bad as Gavin Newsom because he actually knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? He's more intentional.
She is, but it's even more ruthless than what she's able to do. I watched her in my time dealing with President Biden lie. She was the individual who would attack me when I would walk out and tell the truth of what I saw Biden not being the same person. If you watch, this has a lot of similarities to a presidential race in 1988. You had Dukakis, a very liberal governor from Massachusetts that the press got behind. He came out with a 17-point lead of mid-July coming out of the convention. He picked what they considered a moderate Democrat from Texas. But you know what? You sat back, he told the truth. Where was he on crime? He was weak. Where was he the most liberal going through? And you watched that lead erode until President Bush moved through and won in a big electoral college. And lo and behold, President Bush picked this young, unknown senator from the Midwest for vice president. Turned out pretty well.
Yep. Now, Kevin McCarthy is also launching a new Tech and Innovation Institute. This is out of left field. It is basically, you know, after he is stepping out of Congress, he's still getting involved. He's launching a new institute to help America win a technological space race on everything from AI to advanced manufacturing. McCarthy will tap his 17 years of congressional experience on tech and innovation to ensure that America stays ahead of its competitors like China with his Alpha Institute. The former California lawmaker has been traveling the world giving paid speeches and advising corporations, plans to keep one foot planted in the policy world. This kind of makes me nervous because I feel like he's doing this and he's gonna like use his connections with the government to get like government contracts. And it kind of rubs me the wrong way because I feel like he's not like, it's not like he's a genius in his own accord. Like, he's obviously using his policy background, but could be wrong on that one. Kevin McCarthy also had a podcast where he epically owned Sarah Longwell, a podcast host for The Bulwark, who went on an unhinged rant about how Kevin McCarthy actually helped Trump win. Let's tune in.
Right. Even if you go to the poll, and not Republican or Democrat, I think it was maybe 3 months ago, independents believe the greatest threat to democracy was Joe Biden getting reelected. And that was independents, not Republican or Democrat. So what you say, you can believe, but that's not what the American public believes.
There's a difference between what the American people think and what's true. So the idea, I don't know why, I don't know what we are, why the defense of Merrick Garland, sure. Donald Trump lied about an election being stolen and then sicked a mob on the Capitol. And it's funny that you roll your eyes at this, Kevin, because you're the one who went down and resurrected him. You want to know what happened just now in the 2024 election? Is we elected the most dangerous, criminal human being, corrupt human being that America has ever elected. And Kevin, you helped him. You're the one who went and got him after.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Kevin McCarthy goes, "You're welcome." Pretty epic response. And the commenter says, "I'm no fan of Kevin McCarthy, but that was actually a good thing. I'm not a huge Kevin McCarthy fan, but that was the perfect response." So, big update today from Kevin McCarthy, former Speaker of the House. Let me know your thoughts down below.